I got the
Cool.
future World Series champions on my head.
Jesus Christ.
Cal all of a sudden claimed his.
It's not all of a sudden. It's not all of a sudden.
No, he reclaimed him being a New York Mets fan. Yeah,
That's a better term.
I'm sitting here right now holding.
Going back to my roots.
Cole sitting on his
Oh,
head.
because
let's just fucking
you're from the island.
Yes, they are good. They have the third best odds in the NL to win the World Series. I mean, they're 2-3 right now. Oh, 3-3. But it's early.
All right, there's our baseball talk. Hey, everyone, welcome to episode 17 of Just Us Guys podcast. It's between good friends with better takes. And you know what?
Is a loose term.
It is a loose term.
Very loose term.
Cade got his Barstool shirt of Roy Williams. R.I.P. He didn't really die, but he's gone. Long live.
I don't call him Roy anymore. I call him Dad now.
Is it Mr. Williams?
It's Dad.
All right. How was everyone's weekend? Cal, I know you did something miraculous. Evan, anything?
Cal did something miraculous.
Okay.
I was there for the ride. Cal had an albatross, everyone.
You would steal his thunder like that. You would.
What
You
the
would
hell,
do that. You
Ed?
would
Oh my
do that.
God, that's unbelievable.
That's remarkable.
It's not as bad.
That's
Evan.
unbelievable.
Evan,
Honestly,
it's not as bad as
for
what
the-
Cade did.
For the
Remember what
people
Cade did?
that are watching this, they should probably already know. So if you follow us on Twitter like you should, you'd already know about Cal had an albatross.
I don't
Pretty
know
sure.
if I
Did
put it
we?
on Twitter?
I don't think you put it on.
I put it on my Instagrams and my Facebook.
Well, if you don't follow his Instagram, then go do it.
Remember what Cade, the down play that Cade did? Right after it. Remember that?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're being serious right now, but that was kind of up.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
Right out of the gate.
Those
That was
those,
Ty. What happened? That was very warranted. That F word.
For those that don't know
get
what
my
an
life too,
albatross is,
So soft.
an albatross is a score of 2 on a par 5 in golf. It is a 6 million to 1 odds that it happens, and your boy has done it twice, which is crazy. I have 2 of them and a hole in one, and it was
Really the greatest
on
golfer
18th
ever.
hole.
He's up there.
True. On the 18th hole of a course I've never played before, and fun part about it is they've never had one at that course before. They're putting a plaque with my name and everything up in the bar. So I will be engraved in stone at the Ridge Golf Club in Erie, Pennsylvania. So it was really cool. It was really awesome to experience it with Evan, Cade, and my father. Didn't really get I swung it. It was a good shot. We're going right at it. Cade said, "Hey, that's right at the pin." I'm like, yeah. Get up there. Evan had an eagle putt for 10 feet. They were like, well, it's either long or it's in the hole. And I walked up in the hole and screamed a bunch of expletives. And
I can just hear you now.
oh yeah. Well, my dad didn't know
No, you
what's
just
going
said,
on.
let's go. Yeah.
My dad didn't know what's going on. Evan and him were over in the other fairway, hitting in. No, seriously. Evan hit a really good shot over the trees.
I was the only one that saw the shot.
Yeah, Evan hit a really good shot over the trees. My dad was in a flower bed, and he was like, "What the hell's going on?" And yeah, I hit it in. It was crazy. But yeah, it was a fun time, and
I think really
right after it. But
really the best part is that you did it when your dad was there.
oh, yeah.
I mean,
well,
when you go and look back at a time like this, I'm not trying to steal your spotlight or anything.
No, you're good.
But when you're older and stuff, you can remember that.
Yeah, my last albatross, I hit it with Cade and I. Okay, so the cool story, I hit a hole in one after work at Emporium Country Club on number 9. I only played 9 holes that day. Hit a hole in one at about 7 p.m. on number 9 in Emporium. The very next day, teed up on number 1 with my brother and his previous girlfriend. Hit the ball in the fairway. The next shot, albatross. So I went hole in one, drive, albatross. For that to happen,
pretty good run.
Oh my goodness! I should have played the. I think I was under 18 at the time. I could play the lottery, but if I could have, I would have played the lottery, and that was wild. But both those times, I really didn't have much celebration because when I hit the hole in one, I was playing by myself, but there was guys up on the veranda watched it go in. I could barely see it go in, so I literally couldn't high five anyone. It's kind of
just do one of the.
Yeah, it was. I threw a club in the air, and that was pretty much it. And then the albatross with Cade, we were looking for the ball. We had no clue where it was because you couldn't see the green. And his girlfriend goes, "There's a ball in the hole," and it happened to be mine. So it like literally, this is finally the first time that I actually got to celebrate that like that. It was pretty cool.
No, that's awesome.
But yeah, enough about me. I have, if you guys want, another great question.
All right, let's hear it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Oh God.
It's a good one.
I'm
This
scared.
Nothing like crazy out of the weird, But so, would you rather, like usual, Cal's questions?
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather develop a British accent every single time you have a serious conversation with someone? So it could be anything.
All right.
Your grandpa died or your brother, something. Like whenever that starts to happen, you're in a job interview. You develop a British accent.
Okay.
Or every single time someone cries when they're talking to you, you laugh.
All right, so I already laugh out of a nervous reflex that I have because I can't take anything serious.
Yeah.
So I'll take the British accent because maybe they'll think that I'm more dignified.
I'm taking the British accent. It's almost a no-brainer, to be honest.
See, the British accent is good. It would be good, especially if people knew. Like honestly, if I was on a job interview, I'd probably put it on my resume at the very top. Say I have a condition that I start speaking in a British accent when I'm talking serious. I
already talk in a very, very poor country accent when I'm blackout drunk. So
drunk, sober, Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah. No, I definitely, I don't know. The laughing thing though, it's got a plus and a minus where you might be able to cheer them up if you're laughing, but at the same time you also could piss them off.
Well, and that's how it goes for me sometimes.
So
again, because I genuinely do have this where my nervous reflex is to laugh at very, very uncomfortable things that I definitely shouldn't.
Yeah. No, it's a good one though.
So I already live with that.
It's a weird one to think. Yeah, it's a weird one to think. But I think I'd go with the British accent too.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking the British accent.
Yeah.
Cade, yeah, you too?
Yeah, I don't think it's. Cal asked me that earlier this week. I'm like, yeah, no.
Which, I mean, hey.
That's a funny one though. It's crazy.
I love ticking people off when they're already mad though. So
yeah, I mean, it's something I enjoy too. I did it today at work actually.
I did it today. I did it to Michael.
Yeah, I know you. I know you did it today. We all.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all just sitting there like that gif of that dude just hammering popcorn.
What do you say? Are you cutting me off or not? And I said, or.
It's just a wild move. All right. Well, I'm glad that everyone had a good weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And let's get to the Mile High question of the week. Thanks to the guys at the Afternoon Drive, Eric Goodman and Andrew Mason. Their question this week has to do with the draft that's coming up. The 27th? Is it the 27th? Or the 20th? No, it's Thursday, right?
It starts Thursday night.
Okay, so it'd be the 29th. The draft is the 29th.
It's the 29th or 24th. I think
it's one of them. It's one of them for sure.
I think it's 2 weeks out. I think it starts the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, I think.
Okay, it's one of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, if the 49ers take Mac Jones at number 3 overall, does that help the Broncos at number 9? I'm just going to go real quick because mine's pretty straightforward. I think the answer is no, because I know a lot of people are saying the Broncos are going to take a quarterback, whoever does get to 9, whether that's Trey Lance, I don't think Zach Wilson will, or Justin Fields. I believe it's between those 3 that the Broncos think they're going to get. To me, I think you ride Drew Lock, and if he doesn't progress this year, then next year you draft a quarterback. That's how I'm looking at this. And on top of it, there's like 3 other teams ahead of the Broncos that could potentially take a quarterback to develop, like the Falcons, like the Lions, potentially even the Dolphins. So to me, no, if Mac Jones goes at number 3, I just don't think it helps the Broncos. I think the Broncos take the best available player. Like, I don't think Kyle Pitts will be there, but the best just player, period, to improve their team at whatever position it is. Who wants to go next?
Go ahead, Ev.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm going to say the same thing as Ty. I don't think it helps him or hurts him either way, because I don't think that I don't think that Mac Jones should be selected at number 9 if he's available, even if they want to select a quarterback, because if it's not your guy, it's not your guy. You know what I mean? Like if Mac Jones was their guy, they were trying to find a way to get him. You know what I mean? There was options to try to get him.
They did. So the Broncos never even sent a scout to his pro day. They've sent 2 now to both Trey Lance and Fields.
Right. So they don't think that they're going to even have a shot at him.
Correct.
So what's the point of even thinking about it? So even if the 49ers were to, kind of go away from the reports and draft a different quarterback, that means you're still going to have Trey Lance. You're still going to have Justin Fields. You're still going to have, I'm missing one.
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson that might be still available, even though I don't think Zach Wilson will be. But it doesn't matter. And I think there's gonna be a lot of trades on draft night. So I don't think there's gonna even either one have a chance to, or just we'll pass on it, because why would you?
Yeah, based on what Ty said with the prospects and everything, I don't even think they're trying to go after Mac Jones, so it's not going to make a difference for the Denver Broncos.
I'm going to rock with it will help the Denver Broncos, because for the mere fact is, what is the difference between Mac Jones and Drew Lock? Side by side, they're the same freaking person. Like, literally the same person. There's not much difference between the two. In my opinion. I mean, obviously, I'm not an NFL analyst or a quarterback coach, so I don't really, doesn't really go very far.
The eye test.
But if you're going to draft a quarterback as the Broncos, I would draft someone who's a different than what you already have. Where that's where I would, if I were the Broncos were going to draft a quarterback, I would personally draft Justin Fields, because he's different than what you already have. What's the point of drafting someone who's the same? So that's just, for me, the reason why it helps is that he gets off the board and there's not an option. Just throw it out the window and go with an athlete rather than someone you already have. And that's who I'm with. And like same with Ty, take who's the best on the board at the time, because you already have someone that hopefully you can mold around. And if you get someone like Mac Jones, it's pretty much the same thing, same product. But that's where I'm at with it.
And that's my whole point with my statement is, like, the Broncos, they have Drew Lock. They took Drew Lock in the third round. He's played more or less like a third-round quarterback. Still definitely is going to develop, I believe. And this is the make or break year for Drew Lock from pretty much every consensus that, like, this is it. Like, if he doesn't do it with all these pieces around him in a healthy season, a full season, then okay, Drew Lock's not the guy and you got to move on. My whole point is, like, the Broncos, as I just mentioned, have weapons at every position. They are still very good on defense, even though they play like 65% of the time on the field. They are stacked on offense still. They lost Phil Lindsay, which that one hurts, but they still have Melvin Gordon. Their receiving core on paper is in the top 5, like, in the NFL. It doesn't have the numbers, but, like, you give that receiving core to any quarterback, they're going to be pretty happy. I think it's time for Drew Lock. This is the make or break season for him. So
yeah, and it was very well the same exact thing I said when we talked about the one question they had is who's the biggest deciding factor this year that they asked early on in the season, and Drew Lock was mine. I mean, he has to. He has no other choice.
No, because and I guess if you want to draft a quarterback, it's just to have him sit behind him for this year.
That's what I'm saying.
But the difference is, if you draft a first round quarterback, there's so many questions you have to answer. Why isn't he playing? Like, if Drew comes out and has like 4 bad games, everyone in the media, whether from Denver or abroad, are going to start saying, like, why isn't Justin Fields starting over Drew Lock? He could be doing better. Like, it's just going to creep in. So why even do it?
A top 10 pick in the NFL, other than in the NBA, is the most valuable top 10 pick of any sport. If you use it on a quarterback, that quarterback has to be starting day one. I think we've all had this conversation before where we all talked about, like,
there's a reason I threw this chair over my couch when the Packers took Love.
It was the best thing that's ever happened to the Packers. To Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, no, it's great. It was great.
It lit a fire right under his ass.
But Aaron Rodgers, out of recent history, like, I'll say Pat Mahomes because he sat 15 games.
15 games, came in, played the 16th, and then got the starting job.
Yeah, I guess we'll consider him as the success. But every other good quarterback or even great quarterback started young. Like Russell Wilson started young. Put him in the game.
Even Brady.
Brady's.
He didn't start right away, but even Brady did.
But that was like 22 years ago. So, like, I'm not even counting that. That was like so long ago. The league's not even the same. I'm just saying, all the teams that are quarterback hungry, the best thing you can do is get him in the game, learning experience. Yeah, you could have the Joe Burrow thing happen where he got hurt. But at the same time, you can have
Herbert.
The Russell Wilson thing, who won a Super Bowl in his first 3 seasons. So
Herbert, Big Ben.
Herbert, Big Ben. Yeah, like I'm always a guy that says, if you're going to draft a quarterback, you're going to play him. Like, there's no, See,
and personally, I'm under the umbrella of let him set for a year, learn everything, and then let him take over, like Pat Mahomes, or like Aaron sat for 3, but that was Brett Favre. Different.
An absolute legend.
Little different.
I think that your decision would be a little different if Aaron Rodgers didn't turn out the way he did.
Yes and no. I mean, they didn't move up. He was consensus the 1 or 2 pick in that draft. Like, Aaron Rodgers is still a wild case on NFL draft boards just because he fell from potentially the number 1 overall pick to 24th to the Packers, sat 3 years, and then came in and did what he did.
Right. Like, I mean, how many times are we going to sit a quarterback for 3 years and all of a sudden he becomes not only just like an NFL all-time great, but like even an MVP level quarterback? Like,
no, and I do agree with that.
Yeah, so that's why, like, if you're going to draft a guy, like, that's why, like, the Jets said, hey, we could have drafted Zach Wilson and kept Sam Darnold, you know what I mean, and had those two as a quarterback competition, or maybe we play Zach Wilson a couple weeks down the road, trade Darnold. They said, no, Zach Wilson will be our guy week 1. And I think that's the way to do it.
Which is just wild to me because I know everyone makes fun of the Browns for having like 22 quarterbacks. The Jets are like at 18 since like the turn of the century.
They're the two worst, like when it comes to like front office management of the last 20 years.
I was gonna say Cleveland was. They've gotten their shit together.
Yeah, right.
They got a coach.
That is true.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone got anything else to add?
No, I think, like I said, I mean, we say it every week. Thanks for the question. It's always nice to, get an outside,
well, it's nice to get questions we don't normally think about.
Exactly.
I mean, especially the draft coming up. That's going to be something fresh in pretty much everybody's mind. So I'm already going to start looking towards it.
It's going to be a couple fun weeks.
It is. It very much is, and a ton of speculation. I can't wait.
That's why it's speculation. Love that. I hate it.
Put that thumb down.
All right, Cade, this is your question. You want to run it?
Yeah. Okay. So a couple weeks ago, this is kind of a topic we've been bouncing back and forth the last couple weeks. So I saw a TikTok. Shout out TikTok for great information. I saw a TikTok that said, who are the top 5 most skilled NBA players? Now, this has nothing to do with the greatest, has nothing to do with the best.
It said take championships out of play.
Take championships and individual accolades out and just put them on the basketball court. Who was the most skilled? Not even the best, because like skill, Evan, please give us a definition of skill.
Skill is Jesus.
You literally had it on the top of your head.
I was looking at hockey stuff. I'm sorry.
They had one job.
The ability to do something well.
Right. So this has nothing to do with body size, anything. It's just purely what being good at the game. So I wanted to bring it to the podcast because I think there's a lot of different ways that we could go with this question.
I don't think anybody's list is going to be the same.
No shot. No shot the list is going to be the same. So I'm going to kick it over to you guys first, and I'll let you guys fight it out.
Someone can go. I just talked a lot on the last one, so.
Okay. Mine, it does. See, when it comes to skill for me, I know it's when it does everything well, doing something well. But for me, skill when it comes to basketball has to do with take the body into the consideration. Where you got guys like Shaq and those guys who are so physically dominating that literally all 4 of us, if we had that body type, may not have been Shaq, but we would have been being paid to play basketball somewhere.
100%.
Like, if you have that type of body type, you're gifted. You're physically gifted.
There's players today who are not, that have very little skill.
My
like
list.
Nikola Jokic,
Yeah.
Boban. Yes.
I had to do it.
Boban.
Right. Boban. Exactly.
My list has to take that into consideration. Where number 5 for me is Michael Jordan, because he was not the biggest, he's not the fastest, not the strongest, even though he tried to at one time. He was the hardest working and the most determined, which he was an athletic freak. That's where I put him at number 5. Number 4, literally spitting image. I'm taking Kobe Bryant. Very similar in that aspect of he's 6'6", 6'7", did everything that he could do and worked the hardest. That mentality that he had to literally beat you to the ground. He's number 4 for me. On every level of the basketball court, he was great. Number 3 is Kevin Durant. Because, yes, he is physically gifted in his height, but he's not physically gifted in his strength. Let's be honest. I mean, the guy's he's a wet noodle out there. I bench more than he does. I mean, let's
I
be
don't know
honest.
how true that is, but we'll
No, I
let
get it, I
it
get
go.
I bet he can't put up 225.
KD.
Durant.
I mean, he might be able to. Okay, that was also 2008. He probably can.
Either way. Okay, either way. Whatever.
That was 13 years ago.
We'll let it slide for now.
He is another player that at every level of the basketball court, you can put him there and he's there. And he's just the most gifted scorer we probably have ever seen, just from top to bottom. Number 2 is Steph Curry. For the mere fact is he's 6'3", the best shooter that we've ever seen.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, listen. Best shooter we've ever seen. Has some of the best handles we've ever seen. He sets the tone for point guards from now on to be the way how he plays. He literally does. He is skilled. Like that's what his game is. He's skilled. That's the only reason why he does well. And number 1 is going to. I know it already pisses Kate off, but number 1 is Allen Iverson. Pound for pound, the best player to ever play the game. I hate that phrase, but it's true. He's 6'1", crosses anyone up that you could put it in front of him. Scored at all levels of the court. He wasn't the best 3-point shooter, but he got it done. He grew in his game. He got later into his years playing for Denver and stuff like that. He developed the 3-point shot more. He was more of a mid-range sniper. But Allen Iverson, to me, is the most skilled basketball player we've ever seen.
Okay.
I've never met a man with a bigger boner.
What did he say?
Allen Iverson in my life.
Okay.
Listen, look, you ever just go back and watch his tapes, bro. He put literally.
Trust me, I know AI is a freak.
Any of the greats,
No
any
one
of the
said he
greats
wasn't.
from like 1997 until
No one said he's not.
2011 or whatever that he retired. Any legend you put on that list, he put on their ass with his handles
No one,
at one point or another.
It was that one against Jordan was a carry, by the way.
Nope.
No one's arguing it. We're just I'm just saying Cal Logue. If there's anybody that loves Allen Iverson more than Cal Logue, I want him to fight it out in a gauntlet.
I am a true-blooded 76ers fan through and through.
So there was an absolute stretch of time that Cal was the biggest Nuggets fan on the place of fan.
Yes.
Carmelo and AI. Are you kidding me?
Yes, 100%. I really was. I loved him.
I'm
Loved him.
surprised Melo didn't make the list because
I loved.
go straight home.
He was
as
close.
hard as he could.
He was close. But nah. I gotta give respect to what respect's due. That's my list. And LeBron is number 6 for me. Just because he's just the most physically gifted person I've ever seen. But
that's not skill. Anyway, who's next?
Right.
Evan, you want to go?
Skill was thrown in there, or athleticism was thrown in there. So we can't do the athleticism then, right?
no, it's your list. It's your list, bro.
Do what you want.
It's your definition of skill.
Yeah, it's your definition of skill. Skill, that's like that statement, that definition is such a broad statement that Brian Scalabrine was very skilled, but he didn't play 1 minute in a finals and got a ring.
No, you know who was really skilled? The Red Rocket, Matt Boner.
Yes, he was.
Yes.
He wasn't skilled. He was a niche. He had a very, very skillful niche.
That one skill was very maxed out on the 2K chart.
Yep.
Oh boy. Ty, you want to go first?
I was gonna say, do you even have a list?
Go ahead.
He's got one list, and his one list is LeBron, and that's it.
So I didn't do
5 times.
1 to 5. I just have a number 1 and then the other 4. So on my list,
mine really was. I did order right there.
I'm not doing an order.
Interested
I do have my number 1. Again, this is not 5 to 2. All right, I'm saying these in the order I wrote them. First up, Larry Bird. I think that he could just play at any size. Larry could shoot from outside, was phenomenal at passing, and knew how to get rebounds. He was 6'9", I get that, but the dude knew the game of basketball. He was really
averaged
good
a double-double, and not a lot of people know that.
He was really good at basketball. I think and in most of his career, he played with quite literally a crippled back. So
Yes.
You let
That's
Larry
'cause all
Bird
that
be
hay
healthy.
threw over his shoulder.
It is.
It's all that hay threw over his shoulder.
He had
Yeah.
a very bad back for someone who only played 9 seasons.
Yeah, no, Larry Bird is one of the most skilled players, just I think ever, because inside, mid range, outside, he could do everything on offense, and he was great at passing a basketball. Next, this one is probably the biggest one that I would put an asterisk next to for myself, but I can't discredit the man. That's Kyrie Irving. I don't know if there's a man better with just a basketball in his hand.
That was a really good one.
I don't
Love that
know.
one.
Like, I tried coming up with names like who's better with a basketball in their hand just on a consistent basis, whether it's pop and shoot or just literally breaking someone's ankles. And to me, Kyrie Irving is the best person with a basketball in his hands. Then I have Kobe Bryant. I'm pretty sure everything was mentioned. Kobe, 6'6". He was insanely athletic, but all of that athleticism came from hard work, being in the gym at 3 a.m. until 8 and then going to practice. Yeah, Kobe Bryant is just skill personified on both sides of the ball. Like,
he had a
all
rule
defense.
that I found out this week. They had a story with Julius Randle the other night.
When Randall was a rookie or something?
Yeah, when Randall was a rookie, he told him, and one thing he took away from him was, no matter what, no matter when you land at the next stadium or the next, the night that you land, you get to the gym and at least put up 50 shots.
I like
it didn't
that.
matter the time. They land in Milwaukee at 3 a.m. He's like, it don't matter how inconvenient it is for you and the staff, you go put shots up right when you walk into the building. That's crazy. Like, he would literally just would go there and shoot 50 shots for an hour and then would go back to bed.
Just to add to Cal's story, I there was a because he when he died, there was a lot of remembrance and everything. Jimmy Butler was playing in LA. First time he was playing in LA against Kobe Bryant, and he had to guard him that night.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, all right, I'm gonna get to the gym at like 5 a.m. I'm gonna get up shots. I'm gonna get ready, and then I'm gonna go to the team shoot around after. Kobe Bryant got wind that Jimmy Butler was going to be there for 5 a.m. shoot around, showed him at 4. He was already through a workout at 4 o'clock because he found out Jimmy Butler was going to be there at 5. But I just want
and again, like, I can say, again,
worked harder than anyone.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant was an athletic freak, but all of that athleticism came from hard work and perfecting those skills to be that much of a freak.
Right.
I have Nikola Jokic on here. He has a very short term thing. What is the word I'm looking for? Sample size.
Yeah.
But everything I've seen, it wouldn't matter if he's 6'3" or 7'1". The dude has court vision. He has the ability to score, and plus, if you make him smaller, I'm pretty sure he can dribble better.
Right.
So yeah, no, it's just like, I mean, honestly, like, if you shrink Jokic down a couple inches, he'd be a poor man's Luka Doncic. I mean, the dude could run a point. Luka plays at his own pace, just like Nikola does. A poor man's. Luka is in a league of his own.
Right.
Looking back, I should probably just have those two as 1A, 1B. But here we are. I don't have Luka on here. Someone needs to shut that horn up. And my number one, my definitive number one is Steph Curry, just because Steph does everything. He lacks a little bit on the defensive side.
Why'd you make big eyes when I said him number 2?
Because he thought you were going to say he was number 1.
Because yes.
Because I
thought you were dumbfounded. Like, you put big eyes up. I was like, what?
Yeah, no, because I thought he was going to be number 1 after your list went going. No, Steph.
That one's almost predictable. That's why I went AI.
I get that. Just Steph Curry, from athleticism and cardio to shoot, he's the greatest shooter bar none the game of basketball has ever seen, which that's a skill. The dude is still a point guard, can still find the open dude on screen and rolls and everything. Like, Steph Curry is just literally skill personified. He's the best that good
player we've ever seen.
That's a skill. Like I said, the one knock on Steph is his defense isn't, all team, but when you can drop 50 points a game and beat a team that's red hot like the Nuggets, well, I'll give you your credit.
It's very hard to be a consistently good point guard defender. Name one in the league that is year in and year out.
That's great. Like, that's also a great player.
Yeah.
Dame?
No, Dame's not I wouldn't say Dame's the guy.
That's one of the hardest positions to guard.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, on a night in, night out basis, yeah, because you're going up against John Wall to, Russell
I would say John
Westbrook.
Wall is I would say John Wall.
John Wall
That's
was.
what I would say.
Yeah.
John Wall is the best blocking point guard that's ever played the game.
But
Like straight blocks.
Westbrook was pretty strong. Westbrook's good when he wants to. When he wants to, he's very good.
But again, like that's why a Westbrook who, he's averaged triple doubles over season. Like that's athleticism. I don't think Westbrook is the most skilled player. I just think he's an actual athletic freak.
No, if anyone ever said that to me, I would like cry. I'm like, if you gave anybody his skill set and didn't give him his 6'3", probably the best bounce we've ever seen in the NBA, like body, he wouldn't be in the league. I'm being dead serious. Like
you can't go and get 9 or 10 turnovers in a game and then drop 38 and then just be like, oh well, yeah, that 38 outweighs 10 turnovers.
His upside every single year is the reason why people love him. Like, is what his upside could be.
Yeah, no, it's a 38-point triple double,
right?
And then the following night will be 15 points with 10 turnovers.
Right.
But yeah, that's my list. Bird, Irving. Also, my honorable mention, since you had one, is Magic Johnson. I think Magic could have played damn near any position as well.
Yeah, that's a good one. Evan, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
Yeah, I'll go. I'll be short with mine. So, I mean, if we're talking kind of a player that can play all positions and does them the best, I wouldn't say does them the best, but, can play the 1 through 5, is a good passer, scorer, can, play defense, usually in his prime. I'm taking LeBron as number 1. I'm sorry, guys. Actually, I'm not going to apologize. I'm taking LeBron as number 1. MJ is my number 2. I mean, it's hard to be the greatest ever and just be an athletic freak. People, a wide percentage, more than LeBron, think Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player ever. Now, some because of his rings and stuff, but he also is the greatest scorer ever, averaging 30 points per game as a career. I'm taking him as number 2. Number 3 is Steph Curry for all the reasons that we've, said before. Greatest shooter ever. The handles. He's a bit of a liability on defense. But, it just speaks for itself being the greatest shooter ever and still in his prime and breaking records like he just broke one last night. The spitting image of Michael Jordan for me is number 4, Kobe Bryant, for all the reasons that we listed already. The hard work, all the talent that Kobe brought. And number 5, Kevin Durant is, almost a 7-footer that we've never seen be able to be as efficient as Kevin Durant is with a 3-point shot, improving his defense. I was made aware of that by Cade a couple years ago that, Kevin Durant is, in a better mindset for playing defense, I guess, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And that's it.
Pretty solid list.
Number 6 was Russell Westbrook.
Pretty solid list.
So when I first thought about this, I like Cal, because we all interpret it different. Like Cal said, like he took the body into mind as in like what they did with it. So like the way I looked at it is, if you're given a body, what you do, like the skill you add with that body is where like I view it. Because there's a lot of very, very athletic NBA players, but none of them gain skill to become even like relatively good or great compared to the rest of the league. So I did it kind of like Ty. I have a definitive number 1 in my opinion, and then I did 4 other ones. One of the ones that you guys probably never thought of, and that I kind of think is Hakeem Olajuwon.
The dream is he was very good.
Hakeem Olajuwon has the absolute best footwork of any player in NBA history. He is still today like the guru of post play, where literally players go to him in the offseason workouts and learn post play moves from him. Like LeBron did that back when he played in Miami, when LeBron kind of was playing the big 4 and was like kind of like trying to, be more of a post presence. And like he even did that. So like everybody has gone to Hakeem Olajuwon about being a post player at some point in their career. Another one for me was Steph Curry. I don't think I need to explain. He is by far, to me, the best point guard to ever live. And the only reason, and the reason why I say that is because Magic Johnson was gifted a body.
Yeah, he was 6'9" and could play 1 through 5.
He had a lot of skill, no doubt in my mind that Magic Johnson gained a lot of skill. But if you were to put Steph Curry's skill in a 6'8" player, he would be the best basketball player to ever live. No one would ever touch him, ever, never.
Probably not.
If you could shoot, handle, create on your own, create off
and
the
have
ball,
the cardio that he has.
right? He's literally he was 3 inches away from being the best player ever. 3 inches, because then if he was able to have like a
what I tell the women.
If he was able to have like a mid post game, like being able to like do like the Kobe and Jordan style, DeMar DeRozan of scoring a basketball on top of everything he already did, it would just be the most disgusting thing in the world.
Yeah.
Another one, I had Kyrie Irving. I think Kyrie Irving is the best ball handler. He's one of the best, just like creators of his own shot, which is a highly difficult skill to gain.
At the highest level of basketball, yes.
Level, to be able to create your own shot the way he does. He's an underrated passer. And honestly, like when you watch him play, like I make the joke all the time.
It's art.
Basketball's art. Right. He's the only player I've ever watched in the world where I've openly been like, that's like art. Like he just like that's Picasso on a basketball court. Like it's utterly disgusting. Like watching him weave around pick and rolls and
like Pablo.
Those step back free throw jumpers. Like he's incredible. And my number one is Kevin Durant. And the reason why I say Kevin Durant is because he was gifted a 6'10" frame, but there's nobody that's been 6'10" that's been able to do what he does. Like I don't think I can openly say that we've seen players like Steph Curry, but not Steph Curry, right? We've seen players like LeBron, but not LeBron, obviously. But we've never seen anybody close to Kevin Durant. Like nobody's ever been the player that Kevin Durant is. Like as a shooter, he scores at all three levels, probably maybe like combined the best in NBA history. Not only that, but he's a good rebounder, an underrated defender, like Evan said. He's ranked 13th in defensive rating this year. And he's only played 23 games, so small sample size, but underrated defender. When you're talking about creating your own shot, a skill that is very hard to have. I mean, he's arguably the best at it in the league right now. And I just, whenever I watch him play, it's like, what are you supposed to do with him? He's gifted a body with a skill set of Damian Lillard. Like he's literally Damian Lillard in a 7-foot body.
I just looked it up because Kevin Durant is one of those players that is just in his own category.
Right.
But I just looked it up and I found this comparison is that it is a taller and a better scoring version of Tracy McGrady.
When you
Tracy
hear that,
McGrady is also
Tracy McGrady
a very good basketball
Tracy
player.
McGrady was like number 6 for me. He was so close to taking that. He was so good, but for the reason, like for me, that like I literally probably, in hindsight, would out of better basketball players, I would take AI out of there. But the reason why I put AI there is because there are a lot of people, especially there's 2 of them in this group right here that are 6'1".
Yeah, whatever.
And he did what he could do at that height.
Looking at their stats, I'm just curious. I don't really have an opinion. I mean, I could just look at their stats, but who do you think's a better scorer ever?
Michael Jordan, Kevin Durant?
Yeah.
Kevin Durant.
It's actually pretty crazy that KD almost averages a 50, 40, 90 for his career. That's
why close. That's why I say he's a better scorer, because when you're looking at scoring like across the board, like him and Jordan from the field goal overall is pretty equal. I think actually Jordan might have him by just a
the thing is, like, Kevin Durant scores 3 points on average less than Michael Jordan for a career, right, but is also a lot more efficient.
Right. If you were to look up, I'm not going to do it because it'll take too long. But if
I was going to say, let's not get carried away just yet.
How many shots per game Michael Jordan took to how many Kevin Durant takes on an average, and like obviously the splits for KD are better. Like I personally would say that he's a better scorer. Now, if Michael Jordan played in the era of basketball now where fouls and all those kind of things
the court's bigger, more spread out, I would say Michael Jordan would be better. But
I can't compare eras. I can only compare the player. So that's just kind of how I look at it. But yeah, that's me. And my honorable mention, and I think you guys are going to hate it, is James Harden.
I figured I knew you were going to have Harden on
list.
your list. I'm surprised he
Yeah.
didn't crack the top 5 because I was going to say he's arguably the best scorer we've ever seen.
Okay. So I thought you guys were going to hate that, but I left them off because I
expected it.
I had to put Olajuwon on. Olajuwon is absolutely the modern day big. He was the transition from like Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to like Tim Duncan, Shaq, and all those guys. Like he was the bridge that made the modern center go from just being I'm bigger than everyone else to being like you have to be good at the game of basketball.
Someone that nobody mentioned that also definitely deserves some recognition for being skilled. Enough with your 5'8" players.
Yeah, what?
It's impressive.
Steve Nash.
KG, Kevin Garnett changed how big men play too.
I agree with that. I thought I'd put Dirk in there. I would put Dirk over KG.
Yeah, no. I would agree with that because Dirk was able to do everything a modern center is required. KG could stretch the floor, but he couldn't shoot threes.
Right.
But he had the passing, he had the athleticism, like he had all those things. Just he was also very athletic.
Was Tim Duncan,
Mr. Fundamental?
Bro, listen, that man is the definition of skill. Like he did everything
textbook.
Right. He was not the most athletic. Right. Definitely was not the most athletic, but somehow won 5 rings, top 10 in scoring. Like the dude. Yeah, he was up there for me, but I had to put Olajuwon in.
It's a good pick.
I couldn't do too many guards. I left Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant off my list. That's how much I believe that Olajuwon should be in that. Just to put it in perspective.
Which is fair. All right. No, I like these. Some point, whether we tweet it out or something, just come to a consensus or we each pick our own 5 of the least skilled players we've ever seen.
Evan Cravener.
Al, don't even come at me with my list.
Look at the puppy. Look at the puppy.
Hey, Cade, you'll like this one. So on this thread of people asking who Kevin Durant is compared to, or you could compare him to, this one is Ray Allen snaking from his club to join champs.
True.
All right. Let's talk about the Masters because that happened, and honestly, it was something that was phenomenal for the game of golf as a whole.
Yeah.
So who wants to lead that?
Evan, you take control.
Yeah, Evan, you take point on the Masters.
Bud. How about you get something done here, bud?
He didn't even watch it.
Yeah, that's facts.
That's a shame. I had a great weekend just waking up, making a cup of mud, and watching the Masters.
I woke up Monday morning pissed off.
Evan.
Did he leave?
No, he just turned his camera off because he's a child.
He is a child.
I mean, as far as the Masters goes, a bit of a disappointment for Evan on the betting side, especially in the last day.
You got Schauffele though?
I picked Xander Schauffele at the beginning of the week.
We know it was on the podcast.
Beginning of the week to win the tournament. And there was a time around hole 15 where
what should you have done?
Where Xander was don't interrupt me. Where Xander was two strokes back, and then on number 16 of all holes, of all places to miss, one of the best tour professionals decides to miss the ball left.
Wait, time. He hit it on the green, but he hit it in the wrong.
He hit it on the upslope of the fringe.
It didn't touch green. It touched fringe.
Yeah, and it rolled down. I mean, to be honest, we could all talk about his club selection and stuff. He said he flushed it in the interview after.
No,
I said I flushed him too.
He literally said that we thought the wind was coming off the was downwind to the left.
The caddy.
Downwind to the left. So he said that I was confident in the shot. He hit the line he wanted.
And it just didn't go. Yeah, you got to live with it. You make a decision, you live with the result. I mean,
that's why he wasn't mad.
All jokes aside, Xander made a good swing. He said he flushed it. He hits it in the water. I mean, I don't understand where he was aiming. He never said anything about his point of target, if he's aiming at the flag or at the right side of the green, which everything slipped. That makes no sense to me because everything slopes from the right side of the green, and we've seen a lot of people hit hole-in-ones from that spot and get it close. Or you're just trying at this point. What Hideki did, he bogeyed the hole. So make par, and you're tied with him.
One shot lead going into.
No, they're tied at 11.
Oh, they were tied. He was only one down at that time.
Mm-hmm.
No, he was two down.
He was two down, but if he makes par and Hideki makes bogey, now they're at 11.
Shot. That's a one shot lead going into 17. Like I just said.
Good math.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I did
on the 18th hole now. Hideki bogeyed, got to 10 under. I just the triple killed Xander. I mean, as far as the whole entire Masters goes,
first triple on 1,042 holes.
And you're never going to win.
1,042 holes in his major career.
Cade will let
oh
you know.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
1,042 holes in his major career.
That's his first one?
Yeah.
In a major.
And it comes then when you're in contention.
When I said he finished 7 out of 14, now 8 out of 15 majors in the top 10, he's as solid as they come.
Yes, but he's also a choke artist.
Right. Yeah. But he still finishes top 10 and secures the bag for sure.
Oh yeah,
he lost himself $500,000.
Yeah, you're right. But still, top 10.
He's an absolute lock for a top 10 in every major.
So what you're saying is that was an easy bet.
Yes.
Okay.
Par for the course.
Shut up, everyone. You guys are ridiculous.
Hey man, you spelled it on yourself. We didn't have to do it that time.
It's just a smart bet. It's not a good bet. It's a smart bet.
We didn't even have to do it that time.
What? Of course. Say that again.
It's a smart bet.
Anyway, who won?
You said it's not a good bet. It's a smart bet.
Who won?
Hideki Matsuyama.
Yeah, Ed, why are we thinking everything about you? We don't care that you lost your bet.
You told me to take it over.
That means
everything is about me when I'm talking.
It was really funny though because the chain of events in the one group message that we had that literally Josh said, great. Evan, he could hit it into the water here.
No, I'm not going to hear this bullshit right now. I said,
yeah, but Josh literally said Josh said he could hit it in the water.
No. Josh told him to wait till the end of 16 because Hideki could hit it in the water. That's what he said. He wasn't talking about Xander.
I thought he was talking about Xander.
I told Evan, cash out. Evan, cash out. Like, the chances of him coming back from down 2 with 3 holes to play are slim. Cash out. You'll make, I don't even know what it was, like $490 or whatever off your...
$397 is my cash out.
$397 off his $100 bet. He profits for the tournament. If he wins, chuck up the loss. I mean, I guess. But, like, no matter what, I was like, Evan, cash out. We just went over this with the NBA bets like a couple weeks ago, Ev.
So the thing is with that, I don't want to get into it because it's going to take too long for me to explain about, like, the odds and doing all that stuff. But anyways, Hideki won, played. I wouldn't say he definitely played solid the first 14 holes, right? We thought that Hideki was unstoppable, essentially. No one was going to catch him. He made it.
I mean, he started with a 4-shot lead. I mean, he pretty much had to shoot 1 under to win.
Right.
Like,
I mean, that's all you had to do.
Right.
And he shot, 2 over? Right?
He started it.
He was 1 over.
He started at 11 and
one
finished
over?
at 10.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 over.
But let's be honest, though, once the ball went in on 16 for Xander, like he could pretty much double his way in, and he won.
Yes.
Well, Happy Gilmore's caddy. Hey, Gilmore's caddy was only 1 down.
Yeah, Wills Zalatoris finished 1 back. Some guy that we definitely never heard of heading into this week.
That's not true.
That's not true.
I was going to say, I thought he just finished at another major pretty well.
Okay. Okay, guys.
He was Evan, he finished top 10 at the U.S. Open. And for the Masters fantasy thing, I chose him as the first timer, and I won a prize off of him. So, yes, I will 100% take credit for doing research.
I put money on him. I put $5 on him.
You put up $5 on him to what, Cal?
Top 30.
No, to win.
Yeah.
How come I didn't hear about that? You never told me that you put money on Zalatoris.
Don't you remember I put 17 bets?
I
did.
do remember that, yes.
Bets.
I just love that you go, like, after everything's said and done, you were like, I placed so many bets, I forgot I put money on Hideki.
Yeah, I won. I put money on Hideki, and I won. I put so many bets down each day that I forgot that I picked him as one of the winners. Granted, it was a super boost with 2 other players involved, but still won that.
I mean, it's still money.
Yeah.
I mean, for the Masters, for me, it was awesome because it is great to see a first-time winner.
Especially that first-time winner.
Majority of the players who were expected to play well did play well. There's a few that didn't. Bryson sucks. Anyways,
I mean, DJ missed the cut, so
yeah, but but DJ hasn't been playing well coming into this. But like, there was a couple guys that we thought were going to play well that played well. Like Xander, we thought.
JT did not.
JT didn't.
Spieth did.
JT played a bad weekend.
Spieth did.
Spieth did.
Webb Simpson boned me. Ron played all right.
Ron played good on Sunday. He
played a good Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it was a pretty. Honestly, if you take away Hideki shooting 65 on Saturday, that tournament
It's anyone's
would have
ball
been.
game.
Yeah, there was literally 10 people.
Well, Justin Rose, I mean, shot like dog shit on Sunday. So if it wasn't for that,
he played like horrible after Thursday.
Friday was all right. He played, I think, what? He shot par. Yeah.
Even, yeah.
He shot 65, even, and then 74.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Rose played the greatest round of golf I've ever seen in my life on Thursday, though.
No, it was awesome.
Yeah.
The conditions were probably the hardest
ridiculous.
out of all. They were the hardest out of all week.
It was the hardest score to par, like a stroke average, for the field on Thursday for the first time in 67 years.
74.6 was I think the final tally.
That was the highest. It's
And he comes in and drops a 65.
2.6. For all the people that don't know, that's 2.6 strokes over par on average,
which is high.
Yes.
which is very high.
There was only 8 players under par after Thursday. 8.
Yeah, the fact that Justin Rose honestly just kind of sucked after that is wild.
He
played. I mean, it was solid. Like he
played solid, but like he
72,
didn't shoot
72,
Thursday.
74, 72, 72, 74. I think he shot the last 3 rounds.
Yeah.
But yeah, he needs to. He put himself into prime position. If he shoots 1 or 2 under par every day, he wins.
No, that's just it. That's what I'm saying. Is if you shoot 65 and then 3 straight 70s, you're in a really good spot.
You win. Yeah.
Can we kind of think, though, that Justin Rose is kind of a choke artist, though? Like, honestly, he's kind of a choke artist.
I don't follow Rose close enough.
I mean,
to make
I don't
that statement
either.
of yes
I don't
or
follow how
no.
many majors he's led.
I know that he's been in the I know that he competes
won.
for him, but
He's led the Masters after 36 holes 3 times and hasn't converted 1. Not only that, but if you remember when Sergio won, right?
Mhm.
Sergio was down 2 shots hanging into 15, and Justin Rose made like a triple on 15. And then Sergio won it.
How do you make a triple on 15? My goodness.
Get in the water on the front.
Even that's
Let's be honest. I mean, Hideki almost. I mean, he was.
it was there. It was looming.
He made a bogey, but it could have been a lot worse than a bogey. I mean,
Could have been way worse than a bogey.
Yeah, Cal and I were sitting on the couch. I said, "Listen, the only way this tournament is going to get interesting is if he hits a flyer lie and hits a jumper and hits it in 16 spawn."
Yep.
I called, and he did. He did exactly what I said. But yeah, it was very good. I mean, I loved it. I mean, it's the best tournament of the year, obviously, every year. Everyone loves it. People who don't even watch golf. I saw Dwayne Wade post an Instagram story of him locked in on the couch watching it. And
He had a whole ass charcuterie board.
Yeah, he's like, bro. He's like, guys, like, who would have thought that I would ever be watching the Masters on Sunday? So,
well, that's it. Like
it's the greatest tournament in golf.
We were on stream today, and Tim the Tap Man doesn't play golf for worth a damn, and he was into it, like talking about it, like he like didn't know like the whole history behind the green jacket and all that kind of stuff, and he was getting into it, watching it and stuff. It's just that one tournament that golf provides every year that doesn't matter who you are, you at least can see something that's going on with it if you follow anything with sports.
Yeah.
What Hideki did is awesome for the game of golf, especially for the foreign players that want to come to America and play. It gives them a platform. And what's really cool about it is finally what Augusta put into place like over 10 years ago now. It's about, I think they said like 14, with all these amateur events that allow players to get in from around the world, from the Mediterranean Am to the Mexican Am, the Korean, like literally all of those. It finally worked where they got someone who competed in those, got into the Masters 10 years ago, won it. He's the first one to do it. So it's proven what they put into place is working. And it's going to grow the game even more in Japan than it already is. Japan is the second country in the world that has the most golf courses behind the United States. So they're number 2. They are growing. The game of golf in Japan is growing even more and more. He's an absolute hero. Like to that.
Dude, the commentators, the like actual commentators, they were bawling.
Yeah. It's
a huge deal.
Crazy. Yeah. And it was, I mean, I was gonna be indifferent about it. I was like, it's gonna be weird not having, him do the actual speech, have the interpreter. It's gonna be like different. But they did really well. I mean, the cool part about it is that interpreter's been with him ever since he got on tour. So they're literally best friends.
That was the wildest thing to me, by the way, is I could have sworn I've heard Hideki Matsuyama speak English and do interviews before, and I was dead wrong.
He can speak some broken English, but he doesn't do it out of respect. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to, have disrespect towards our language. So he just speaks what
he understands it. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, literally in the butler's cabin, all the questions that Nance was asking him, he could have answered right there. He didn't even have to go over to his interpreter, but he allowed it to happen because that's the process. Yeah. But he was nodding his head the entire time. I mean, you've been in the tour for 11 years. You're gonna pick up on stuff. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a question because I saw this. So in your 3 sets of eyes over there, what is the number 2 major? What is number 2 to the Masters? The Masters is number 1. That's not up for debate.
I mean, for me, I'm probably taking the U.S. Open.
What was the question again? You said
the number 2
Number
major.
2. Masters is number 1. What's number 2?
Oh, U.S. Open. I don't think. I know we and Cal talked about this before, but it's U.S. Open for me.
I just saw this as asked as a question, and I was interested to hear.
And I understand like why Cal picks the Open because of the history and the Claire Jug, and that's where the golf was founded. I
love setting my alarm at 3:30 a.m. I freaking love it. It's my favorite time of the year. It's so much fun. It's the only tournament out of the year that no matter what the conditions play a factor.
Well, that's I would say the Open because I do enjoy watching that.
Oh my God, the conditions, like
the Open where Ricky and Rory, duked it out. No, I'm not saying anything about Ricky.
Cal wouldn't know anything because he doesn't like Ricky Fowler.
But the conditions weren't like the conditions were pretty prime throughout the week from what I remember.
But they're still
the scores were really low, and that was like one where it was like, I mean, they're gonna just play in a link style golf course, right? Yeah. But the ones that I like to see
of the Open is the weather. If they don't get good, if they don't get bad weather,
the ones that I like to see, are the ones with a 50-mile-an-hour wind gust, hailing
rain
sideways,
coming on and off.
Cows are flying sideways. Everything.
Yeah, I love it. It is. And granted, for me, between the Open and the U.S. Open, it's a year-by-year basis depending on the golf course they're playing. It is. Yeah. You're playing the Open at St. Andrews versus the U.S. Open at like Erin Hills. I'm taking the U.S. Open at St. Andrews. But if you're playing the Open Championship at even Royal Troon compared to Oakmont, I'm taking the U.S. Open when they're playing at Oakmont.
That's why I think I was literally talking to Cal about this the other day. I was like, why Augusta is everyone's number 1? It's not that the green jacket or whatever. You know what it is?
Or the strength of the field.
Or the strength of the field. You know what it comes down to? The back 9 of that golf course is the most exciting back 9 in any major tournament golf course you can ever find. You have a tough stretch of holes, and then you have
known because they do it every year.
Right, and then
that's a big one.
Yeah,
same course every year.
But like people know it so much, not just because like it's played there every year. It's because it's the most impressive 9 holes of golf anywhere. You got a tough stretch, gettable holes that make it exciting. And then really it's usually by 16 it's decided pretty much who's going to win. But it's anyone's ballpark from 10 to 15 or 10 to 16. It's anyone's ball game. And that's why I think that's why. I don't think there's anything else about the golf course that makes you think like that it's the greatest. And that's why I say about St. Andrews. I think St. Andrews is the greatest because, I mean, like.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Obviously, like, if there was a one course that you could pick for the Open, everyone's going to say St. Andrews every year.
Right.
It was going to U.S. Open. What course would you pick that could be played at every single year if they switched to that?
I have 2. I have Oakmont, obviously, one because I'm from that area, kind of 40 minutes away, 30 minutes away.
It's a classic U.S. Open style course.
But it's incredibly tough. That's what you want to see, right? In the U.S. Open. And then I have Shinnecock because Shinnecock is another test of golf that is there's nowhere in the country that's like it. I mean, that's just me. That's just why.
Pebble.
Pebble's a good one too.
Pebble is a good one. I don't have an opinion. I just don't know enough about the golf courses. So.
And for me, the reason why I say Pebble is because Pebble is a wild card every single time you play golf. Like every single day could be.
It's the
same as St. Andrews.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're like in Pittsburgh in the middle of June. Like it's gonna.
You're gonna have hard greens, fast greens, high rough,
and high rough. Right. Like in Shinnecock, it's gonna be the same thing. Like
about 80% humidity.
Right. When you go to
Shinnecock could be one of two ways.
Right. When you go to Pebble Beach in the morning, you might have the most beautiful scenery you've ever seen on a golf course. And then turn around and by 2:00, there's 40-mile-an-hour winds coming off the ocean. And also for me personally, I like golf courses that finish like I think Pebble Beach's finishing holes are better than Oakmont's and Shinnecock's. So like that's why I choose Pebble Beach.
Yeah, Oakmont year in and year out when it is there, it's not one on the 18th hole. It's not one on the stretch.
No,
it's one on who grinded it out the most, and it usually has a 2-putt to win on the 18th.
Right.
You know.
Now, if you're talking like overall better golf course, I think Oakmont's like, I mean, it's the cream of the crop. Like it's hard to cook anything over that. But if you're talking about a major setup, like, man, Pebble can be absolutely brutal. I mean, ridiculously brutal when it because of the conditions. I want to see
they don't make it crazy for the pro-am.
No, I want to see the wind and the rain and like literally last year or 2 years ago when what's his name? Not Westwood. Oh my God, what's his name?
Woodland.
Gary Woodland won.
Yeah.
Literally one day, the stroke average was like 75 because the greens were so firm you couldn't hold them, and they're small. The greens are small. They're not like Oakmont's greens are massive, like literally massive. You can hit them and have a 60-foot putt. But at Pebble, like the greens are literally, I can't remember what it was. I remember I saw it. All the greens in Pebble Beach in 9 holes fits into the number 1 green at St. Andrews.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that graph.
9 holes of greens fit into 1 green in St. Andrews. Like that to me, I find more enjoyment in that. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I was just curious just because I saw it and I wanted to know.
That 2-year stretch of the Open being at Shinnecock and Pebble, with conditions. I don't know.
What was in between Shinnecock and Oakmont?
Erin Hills.
16
was Oakmont. 17 Erin Hills.
18 Shinnecock.
Shinnecock. 19 Pebble Beach. 20 was Harding Park. No.
Yeah. No, that was PJ.
I don't know. Wasn't a very memorable course. All I know is in California.
So we going to the Ryder Cup or what?
Yeah. It's my dream.
Yo, Torrey Pines this year. Torrey Pines is the U.S. Open this year. That'd be a good one to go to.
All right, yeah, no, I was just curious. That was all.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Wingfoot was 2020.
Wingfoot.
In New York.
That's a very good one.
Anyone got anything else to add on golf? What is it? The Heritage this week, right?
Heritage, yeah. A lot of
RBC Heritage.
There's a bunch of players.
Brooks Koepka's playing. Why?
What?
Guys, sponsorship? Is he sponsored by RBC?
He might be, but he's playing.
Bryson pulled out of this week.
Yeah.
He's sponsored by them. I'm pretty sure.
No, he's not. He wouldn't be allowed to. They drop him.
Yeah.
They have to.
He said he was having trouble breathing, so he didn't play.
You're such an idiot.
I'm just saying.
Bryson DeChambeau has done all of this. Everything that he gets from Cade and from everyone else, he deserves.
No, it's completely warranted. There's a reason.
Yeah. I'm not just openly hating the 5th best player in the world for no reason. Like I'm not.
He deserves it.
Not at all. I promise you.
No, it's all well deserved. It's still like the fact that he had the audacity to come out and say that Augusta plays like a par 67.
Par 7. That's going to be held against him for the rest of his life. Not even his career. The rest of his life.
I hope
and after he's dead.
I hope the first year he's unable to qualify, everyone just makes fun of him for it.
Yes. Oh, we thought it was a par 67, Bryson.
Like
according to the par 67 thing, he shot plus 25 this
25.
He did.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
That's up there with the ranks of the people that just come for the show, like Larry Mize, and no disrespect, but they can still play. They'd still kick our ass, but still, I mean,
hey, that stat of Olafable this week.
Olafable is still a player.
Past winner, Olafable. He sat down with Nick Faudo at lunch, and Nick Faudo asked him, "How have you been playing?" And he's like, "I haven't been." And he's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You haven't played any tournaments?" And he's like, "I haven't played since last year's Masters." And he's like, "Oh, like, yeah, obviously you didn't play any tournaments. He's like, "No, I haven't played golf since last year's Masters." And the guy made the cut at 59 years old, or whatever he is, 57 years old, made the cut. He hasn't played since November. He said
his first round back, he shot 74.
He never teed the ball up after November at the Masters last year, and he made the cut this year. Most impressive thing I've ever heard in my entire life. That's crazy.
He shot 74 his first round back.
Yeah. And I think he shot
74, 72. And he shot 2+2 and made the cut.
Yeah.
By the way, real bad bet on that Bernhard Langard top 30 there, bub. Whichever one of you two it was.
That was good.
To be honest, looking back, Bernhard Langer is a stud. I mean, he can still play. Like, he played last year. Bernhard Langer, didn't he not contend, but he was up there in a couple of games.
He was the oldest person to make the cut.
But he was also there.
Some other guy.
Yeah.
He was in the last five groups on Sunday. Like, he was in the last 4 or 5 groups on Sunday.
It's just any course with any type of length is going to kill Bernhard Langer. He hits a hybrid 200 yards. I mean, it's tough for him.
He has to play number 5 like a par 5.
Yeah.
So it just is what it is.
All right. We good on golf then?
Yeah, let's go to one white boy sport to another white boy sport.
Correct. Yeah, this is European.
Yeah, it's true. Well, so it's kind of golf is too.
Yeah, golf kind of is too. We're gonna talk about the NHL for the first time in 10 episodes. Just the trade deadline happened. I just want to touch on a couple things. This wasn't.
My God, there were so many.
Actually, there weren't this year.
Really? I got notifications every 5 seconds on my phone about trades.
So there's little stuff moving around, salary cap movers, really. Nothing huge happened. Nothing. Okay, that's an understatement. A couple big things happened, but for the most part, it was depth moves. It was teams kind of shoring up holes they might have, or just straight up going full tank. I'm just going to run down through the list, Evan. If you want to talk about any of them, just tell me to stop, and then we can converse about it. I'm going to start with the Avalanche. They bolstered their depth just even more. They're one of the hottest teams. I think they're the number 1 team right now in the league as far as the President's Trophy race goes. They brought Patrick Nemeth back. They brought Carl Soderberg back, and they added Devin Dubnyk because their biggest hole right now is a backup goalie. And adding 2 veterans is always a good thing. They just got more center depth and some more defensive help. So, yeah, the Avalanche just shored up their depth, which I'm here for.
And that's good. They need that if
they want to make a run.
The Avalanche are probably the best team in the NHL. They need depth to win the Stanley Cup.
Correct. And that's their defense, right now they're playing just some of the best hockey I think historically ever on both sides. Not just they're historically good on offense, both sides they're very efficient right now. The Islanders had a very not really quiet, but they got some big pieces. The Islanders added Kyle Palmieri and Travis Zajac, which those two are very, very good players from the Devils. And then they actually got Braden Coburn, who was on the Lightning's team last year and was playing 25 minutes a game. He was a big part of the Lightning's run last year. But the Lightning traded Braden to another team for a salary cap dump. And then from that team, he got sent to the Islanders. So Braden Coburn's going to be right back in the Stanley Cup hunt for 2 different teams. This one was just interesting just because the Islanders are looking to act like they're actively trying to get better. Palmieri and Zajac are both very good players. They just were stuck on the Devils, who are a dumpster fire. Penn's added Jeff Carter. I think this is great. It's added depth at center. Jeff Carter's a proven scorer and just a leader. I mean, he was the number 2 to Kopitar for his entire career at the Kings. Yep. I love the Pens getting Jeff Carter.
Stanley Cup champion.
Yeah. I love the Penguins getting Jeff Carter. I think this was a huge move for them. It's not what everybody wanted, but I think this is a big move just from shoring up offense, because if you're not following hockey, the Pens have been devastated with injuries. Yes. So getting Jeff Carter, I think, is great. The Maple Leafs added Nick Foligno. I think this was like a 3-person trade, but Foligno's the biggest signing. Again, it just adds more depth to a team that's already pretty deep and is pretty high-powered on offense. Foligno's kind of that grinder that they need since Jumbo Joe's 400 years old. I like the Leafs getting him. Maybe the Leafs will actually win a first round in 25 years. That'd be cool. The biggest signing, though, the biggest trade, just bar none, is the Taylor Hall getting traded to the Boston Bruins, which is total horseshit.
We're going to stop on this one.
Yeah,
we're
going to
stop on this one.
This is a massive move.
What are the Sabres doing?
The Sabres are going full tank. They have to again, except with Eichel now and Sam Reinhart and
they land Taylor Hall in the offseason with Jack Eichel. I mean, you're looking at power rankings like in the beginning of the year. Like you're going to
Sabres were like 11th, which is the highest they've ever been.
Buffalo can be a playoff team, and then now we said it. April 13th.
They're dead.
He's not even on the team anymore. Like he's not even on the team. Like at what point do we just continue to tank like they have been the past 10 years? Just like historic Buffalo teams and up until this year with the Bills. I mean, goodness gracious. They just made the Bruins so much better. The Bruins are a fringe playoff team in the East right now. They are the top 3 teams separated by a pretty large portion of points are the Capitals, the Islanders, and the Penguins.
Okay.
And the Bruins are behind the Penguins, who are number 3 by I think 7 or 8 points. I don't have the standings up, so don't quote me on that. But adding the 2018 Hart Trophy winner to their lineup, along with who else did they get in that trade? Do you have it written down?
Blackhawks added another piece. No, it's just the Taylor Hall, the Bruins just added. They added a couple other pieces, but Taylor Hall is the reason Nathan McKinnon doesn't have a goddamn heart right now, because Hall had one good season where he scored over 65 points, and they're like, oh, let's give the heart to you. It's bullshit. Right. Since then, he hasn't got over 65 points. But that 193-point season, yeah, he's the MVP of the league.
Yeah. Is that heartbeat?
Hart. Also, the Bruins are 8 points behind the Penguins.
I was close. Yeah, I said 7 or 8. I mean,
2 points.
There's a large margin there, but Taylor Hall being, I mean, they're not going to see like a complete turnaround where they're going to win 12 games in a row, but
it helps massively.
In playoff time, it's going to be, there's a huge difference now.
Well, I was going to say, it's just like Phil Kessel and the Penguins. Like Phil, was a good player, but come playoffs, Phil turned it on.
Yeah.
Phil arguably should have won the Conn Smythe that one year, and they gave it to Sid, which I'm fine with. But Sid had he had an argument. Kessel did.
Yeah, Lazar's the other player that was traded with Hall. Curtis Lazar.
Oh, okay.
Which I think he's actually solid too. I don't know much about Curtis Lazar, but I mean, still, it's hard for me to believe that even happened.
No, it's genuinely an insane trade that I thought Taylor Hall would go to another, a fringe playoff team, and I guess technically the Bruins are, but the Bruins are consistently a very, very good team.
Yeah, they're always they ran deep last year in the playoffs. I mean,
well, they usually make a deep run damn near every year because they play Toronto in the first round.
Right, and they always get crushed.
Yeah, it's just that was insane. Also, the Sabres and Blackhawks. The Blackhawks had a fire sale. The Blackhawks, I think I saw ended up trading with 7 teams, and they are just
so did the Red Wings.
They are just stockpiling prospects and any draft picks they can get. So they still have Patrick Kane. But the Blackhawks are just going full.
What is he doing? I don't know. What are the details of his contract? Why is he not trying to get out? I mean,
I honestly
he's still got some left in the tank.
He won me money last night.
Kane
Patrick Kane?
Yeah, I had there was a super boost with Kane, Austin Matthews.
Yeah.
Just spelled weird. And Nathan McKinnon, all to score points, record a point, is a super boost.
So his contract is 8 years, $84 million.
He's not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere, but I guarantee you, he looks around the professional sports and he says, "Oh, well, all these people are requesting trades." I guarantee you, Chicago is going to get a boatload of picks if they're trying to truly tank like Detroit.
I mean, you have to send it.
Why not? who's going to take that contract? I mean,
what they
Who
don't
knows,
have?
but-
They don't have Duncan Keith. He's gone. Taves
Jonathan-
is pretty much done indefinitely.
yeah,
So my pick at the beginning of the year was not a good pick with the
No.
Sabres then.
My
No,
pick's doing well.
they traded their best player, Kyle.
That's par for the course.
Arguably,
My pick's doing well.
Who was your pick?
Carolina.
Oh yeah, they're in second.
Yeah, in second. They're gonna make the playoffs, boys. Let's get it.
Hey, that's all you got to ask for. Actually,
all I gotta
they're
ask
actually
for.
tied for first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Lightning
So
and
I'm looking at
Hurricanes
it now.
have 58 points.
58 points.
but
Defending
yeah,
champs
no.
are taking them on head to head.
Right now, yeah, the
Man.
NHL I think is still pretty much obviously up in the air just because the playoffs are just some of the craziest
When does the playoffs start?
May.
at the end of the regular season.
I hate you.
You know what? You know what, Ty? Just because
I
you
got
said
it. I got it.
you.
Wait, it just says 2021 Stanley Cup playoffs. Oh, it's Stanley Cup.
21.
Playoff schedule May 8th.
Yeah, sounds about
I said
right.
May.
Saturday, May 8th.
So we're less than a month.
Roughly.
Wait, the NHL regular season ends on May 8th. The playoffs start 4 days later on May 12th.
We got there. Proud of you.
So exactly less than a month.
Also, for anyone that cares, the Avalanche currently lead the league in point differential. They are plus 52. The next closest is plus 40.
I just saw.
The Avs are really
Is
good
that
at
the-
hockey right now.
Is that the Oilers who's number 2 or no?
Whoever's in the
Yeah.
Central, Lightning.
Tampa.
Yeah, it's
I'm looking at it right
Lightning.
here. Tampa Bay second, and then Carolina's at 31 because
Yeah, Carolina's good.
It just blows my mind how the Oilers aren't leading the division.
I put a bet on them to win the title
Because they
we talked
suck.
about it.
It's truly becoming the
Connor
McDavid
isn't-
the
he's not-
McDavid regular season show. And now like who knows what's going to happen in the playoffs? The Oilers are going to play the Jets. Right now, how it stands, I don't know, bro.
I mean, they're not that bad.
They
They're
just traded their best player.
Whoa! They're 25-15. They're not that bad. They're only 7 points behind Toronto, 1 point behind Winnipeg to get into the playoffs.
But their point
That's not that
differential
bad.
is only 14.
They're four teams.
Oh,
There was one game where two players
how many-
had
how many
11
people get-
points.
Four teams get in the playoffs.
In each division. Because
And then they play each other.
One
They
plays
play each
4,
other.
one plays
Right.
4, two plays
Right
3.
now, the Maple Leafs will play the-
Okay, yeah. So they're in the playoffs right now.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, so why are we
But
freaking out?
because they have the number 1 and number 2 best player in the league,
I understand that, but
Arguably.
no matter what, they're still there.
arguably by points.
5 points.
Listen,
yes.
listen. I don't know a lot, but all I know is when you get to the playoffs, that's all that matters. Got to get there.
Right, and they haven't done shit in the playoffs.
What's a one seed in in COVID time? What's a one seed really? It's really not that meaningful. There's like limited fans.
They might be fully back.
I'm
by
going
then,
to an
who knows?
Avs game sometime before the end of the regular season.
Hey,
so
quit yelling at me, all right? I'm just speaking the truth.
Yeah,
It's just like
as long as
the
I don't need my
NBA.
vaccine card, we're good.
It's just like the NBA. The better team's going to win, whether it's a one seed or a 6.
That's not always true in hockey.
That's not always true in hockey, but I'm just saying, professional sports, if you get
Connor-
into the playoffs, it's anyone's game.
since the last time we talked about hockey, they were number 1 and 2, and they still are.
Yeah,
Connor and Leon.
that still checks out. They had an 11-point
For
game
points?
between the two of them.
Yeah, on the same team, 69 and 61.
Wow.
I mean,
Nice.
Nice.
Where's
69 points.
Where's Rantanen?
Nice.
Nico in the
Rantanen?
top 5 still?
No, he's
Shit.
There's times
7th.
When
Nico
you
Rantanen,
guys,
50.
because I obviously don't follow hockey that much. When you guys say names, it almost just sounds like you're making it up.
Igor Svechnikov?
Just like
That's
Rantanen.
Russian. That's
Rantanen?
Russian as
Rantanen?
Russian can be.
Yeah,
Who's
like-
Netsov?
Russian.
The Birdman.
Russian.
I watched a game. I watched a game the other day,
Artemi
Ty, where he
Panarin?
did that, and it gave me very, very bad memories.
I hate
Hey,
Kuznetsov so
I-
much.
I did a hockey parlay tonight. I took the Bruins, Rangers, Caps, Leafs,
Were
Lightning,
you bored?
and Panthers. And
Answer the question.
I wasn't bored. I didn't like the NBA board tonight. I didn't like it. So I did all 7 games in the NBA, and I lost on the first one at 4:00 this afternoon. So I was
I'm
like,
typing
okay.
F right now. You can't see it, but I am.
I'm like, okay. Well, I took the over on the Nets and Timberwolves game, and the over was 225, and they scored 224.
Oh my god.
So,
What are you gonna do?
Kate,
What are you gonna do? So I took all those guys.
Yeah, after I realized that the Masters bets that I placed weren't going to hit, I didn't get a single one right. I was like, all right, I got to make my money back here. Let's throw together a little parlay. I did 4 hockey games and I did 2 basketball games. I had the Nuggets -5 and the Bulls money line.
Bulls lost.
I got all 4 of the hockey games correct.
Bulls lost.
The Nuggets lost by like 17 after leading the whole game, and then the Bulls lost.
The Bulls lost that game. They lost that game. The day you did it, I put money on the Bulls too.
Yeah, I went 4 of 6, and the 2 were basketball.
Since we're talking about betting, I'm going to swing it back to the Masters. I made this collective this weekend. I made 4 bets on Siwoo Kim.
You have a problem.
I won all 4. Listen,
Didn't you? No, you pushed one of them, didn't you?
Yeah, I still won money though. I won my money back, and I won another $14 on top of it. So I mean, I didn't win the $60-some I was supposed to win, but I won money. I didn't lose a bet on Siwoo Kim. I bet him top 30, top 20. Okay, I bet him top 10, and then I bet him straight up against Charles Schwartzel and Corey Connors, and he broke his putter on the 15th green, and I still tied it. I still pushed that one and won, and he beat Charles Schwartzel, and I won that bet. It was amazing. Siwoo Kim makes money.
We're just going to transition this right into betting because why not? We're at that point, so.
I like talking about losing money.
Yeah. Real quick, just some recap from last week because.
Listen, remember, viewers, take this week as a grain of salt. We chose a flat out winner.
As the only guy that went 0-2, that's awfully bold of you to say. Just,
all right, I'm just gonna start taking money lines.
Just throwing that one out there.
I'm just gonna start taking money lines.
I took the over in a game and got it right. Thank you. So yeah, I went 1-1. Cal went 1-1. Cade 0-2. Evan 1-1. Yeah, that brings our totals up, fellas, to a whopping. I'm 19-13. Cal 14-18. Cade 13-19. And Evan is the first one to hit the 20 mark, 12-20.
That's okay. We're going to get back to my bread and butter, so.
Oh, you're betting on Olympic curling again.
Oh, baby.
Dude, I can't wait for the Olympics. I love the Olympics.
Me too.
I cannot wait. But yeah, anyone got any bangers this week?
Oh, yes. Always. Always. Okay, first. The New York Mets plus 1.5 tomorrow versus the Phillies.
Okay.
And then Colin Morikawa to beat Webb Simpson round 1 of the RBC Heritage. He is not the favorite. Webb Simpson is the favorite. I'm taking Colin Morikawa.
I like Morikawa too. Webb Simpson. Yep. Son of a bitch.
Those are my 2 bets for the weekend. First baseball bet of the year, other than I put money on the 2 World Series champions.
I've got Robert Whitaker to win.
Ooh, Whitaker's fighting this week?
Yeah, versus Gastelum.
Okay.
Lots of implications with this fight.
Yep.
Of who's going to fight? Is he next? I've got Whitaker winning by TKO. KO.
That's what your bet is?
One of them, yeah.
Winning by
is your bet win by TKO or just to win?
Winning by TKO or KO.
Yeah, knockout. That's okay.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming Whitaker is the favorite.
He is, but it's plus 220 for that. And then I'm taking for the golf. I'm taking Zalatoris top 10 plus 260.
Yeah,
hey, can you tell me what Kisner is top 10?
I don't know if he's playing.
He is.
I can tell you.
Is he?
Because I can't see it for some godforsaken reason.
It's in South Carolina. He's going to play there.
Kisner.
Oh, yeah, they're not playing in Canada this year, aren't they?
Plus 600, top 10.
Lock that one up. Just lock that one up for me really quick. Kisner T10. Let's go. Evan, what was your other one?
Whitaker.
No, not Whitaker. Zalatoris.
Zalatoris.
Yeah, okay.
Zalatoris top 10.
Yeah. Just put Sanders Caddy.
I'm thinking about it.
I love how he responded to that.
Oh no, you gotta run.
He
with
has
that.
it on his stamped on his wedges well before it even happened.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
did he?
Really has it
yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
he has it stamped on his wedges. Mr. Gilmore, I'm your caddy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I
Like
love that.
he leans into it.
You
It's
don't
awesome.
you don't know you don't think that like growing up playing high school golf like in college golf like he
Oh, I'm sure.
obviously- yeah.
He looks exactly like him.
Yeah.
No, it is a spitting image.
Speaking of, they showed
I-
a picture. They showed a picture of the Walker Cup team that he was on. Disgusting.
Can you rattle off some names? Good.
Colin Morikawa, him,
Did they
Doc
win?
Redman, McNeely,
Maverick.
Matt. Oh, you just said me. I said McNeely.
Maverick McNeely, yeah.
Brad Thornton. I mean, not Brad Thornton, but
Brad
Thornberry.
Thornton even from
Brad
Cal.
Thornberry, that the one that won the U.S. Amateur. That team was it was unreal.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's kind of crazy. He's actually, I mean, I'm going to say this, but he's 24 years old. He's actually not that young. So like he played
He doesn't
in
have a
college.
scorecard yet.
No, but he played in college tournaments in college tournaments and junior tournaments with Jordan Spieth.
Yeah.
Like they've known each other their whole lives. So he's really not that like young, but he just, I mean,
Hey,
Some
nothing
people
against the
don't
late
round like
bloomer.
Jordan Spieth. Like,
So yeah, I'm gonna go with Kisner top 10, just because he's bound for one of them. I will die on this hill of Kevin Kisner. And then I'm gonna take the Avalanche against the Blues tomorrow. -1.5 is +136. So give me that.
Scheffler too. Yeah.
Scotty,
was
Scotty Scheffler, yeah.
good players. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Doc, what do you got?
Man, I'm really torn right now. I really want to bet on this 76ers game, but I don't think I'm
Look at
gonna.
that quarter inside of his head.
I do have a big zit coming in, guys. Look at this thing.
This is not on your lip
I
like
mean,
mine. I already popped it.
I don't think you can see it, but I just have a mole right there, so
Yeah.
Almost everywhere, Ty.
I know
You
I
do
do.
Okay. All right. You should show us.
One right there too.
Show us on cam.
Get that the Bermuda Triangle.
All right. So my two bets are in the NBA. I'm getting back to my bread and butter so I can start climbing up this leaderboard again.
All right.
Because I was killing it only betting the NBA, but then I started getting
You
into
were.
golf. Yeah.
I'm
All right.
probably going 0-2 this week. Just an FYI.
Oh, me too. 100%. I bet on baseball.
I am going to take the Washington Wizards -1.5 over the Sacramento Kings.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
And I'm going to take the Dallas Mavericks wait. I think I just found the lock of the day for me.
All right. Let's hear it.
The Indiana Pacers -5.5 against the Houston Rockets.
Wow.
Pacers -5.5.
Yeah.
Pacers are currently down 11 points.
They lost to the Lakers. I mean,
Yep.
the Clips.
Oh, did they finish up?
Yeah.
By how much?
Don't know. It's just Paul George on TV right now. It's Aussie.
All right. Yeah. Cool. Just hammering them, Cal.
I had an albatross this weekend.
You did,
Oh.
and we're all very happy for you.
Hey,
very happy.
one more thing for all of our viewers. Shout out Cade Logue for winning the Daily Masters Challenge for the best fantasy score in the Masters Challenge on their app, whatever.
Did you
And
actually win that?
Yeah, I won, bro. I got first place. Like, I don't know how I got to claim my prize or how it works, but I got
He got it
first.
for Thursday. I mean, Friday.
Just,
Friday.
shout out
Friday.
himself.
I did. I shouted out myself in the third person, baby.
I'm okay with that. I'm here for
Yeah.
it.
I got $600 or it was $550 worth of merchandise from the Masters. That's
Which
what
is
I won.
which is pretty sick.
It's pretty
Hey
sick,
Evan,
yeah.
by the way, the Avalanche are the only team in the entire league with less than 10 losses. They have 9. They're very good at hockey.
Good. They're good at the ice fairy game.
Male figure skating, as Joe says.
Evan, where'd you get that
Fucking right
hat?
off.
Got it
Potter-
today.
Sutter Ridge.
Got it today.
Oh,
I love how big the hat is.
Ty looks like he just slings wood over his shoulder right
Dude,
now.
I do. Look how big
You
this
do look
thing
like
is.
an actual lumberjack.
Shut up, Evan.
Or
No!
Or he stops at every single sheet to get one of those big ice glazed donut
You
things
said New York Nick.
for $1, and you're a truck
Nick.
driver. Those are the only
You
two
said
things
Nick.
you could currently
I
be.
did not.
I mean, I could just
You could
walking
be.
around with just an absolute just a horseshoe ring of chew too. All right, that's the show, everybody. We're all really stupid.